Exciting breaking news here on Tiny Finds Treasures. I went to Lost Era's vintage store the other day for a video, and then I thought, why don't I just go to all the vintage stores in Chicago and make a series? I'll be going to all the vintage stores and antique stores that I can find in Chicago over the next several weeks. So please comment below and let me know your favorite vintage stores in Chicago if you're in the area. Hello everyone, it's Steph here and it's a great day for treasure hunting. I am down in the city of Chicago. I just finished work, so now I'm going to check out the Broadway Antique Market that is located in the Edgewater neighborhood on Broadway. It's a great antique store. I've been there before. I got two of my favorite paint by numbers ballerina pictures for my office here. Very highly rated. Let's go inside and take a look to see what we can find. Starting out, the first thing that catches my eye is this Kakashi doll original art painting from the 1960s at $225. If I were an avid collector, this probably would have come home with me because it's such a neat piece. Quite an eye-catching piece of Abraham Lincoln original art piece by Martin Zingner, who unfortunately fell to his death while working on a project at the Palmer House in Chicago. The same year this portrait was made, 1964. Okay, I have been hearing raving reviews about how well these typically resell. The tag says that it is cherry. It's definitely older. I love the joinery, love the color, and it's only $33. So this guy is coming home. Y'all, I've been here for maybe 6 minutes, and I wish I had 2 hours in here. It's so good. For those of you who come from my first channel, Tiny's Garden, that's established, you know I'm an avid cut flower gardener. So naturally, I absolutely love this box, really more like a trunk. Keep in mind, antique store prices, so at $265. Though I love this, I'm going to pass. These planters I quite liked, actually, and then around the corner, to my surprise, there were more around the corner. So I checked the price and $15, which I think is pretty fair, but I decided I don't need them. And then I found this beauty. Things were popping out at me right and left. I loved this original art piece as well. I thought the matting color was beautiful. I love the colors in it. Artist signed and dated 1971. $65. If you love the thrill of shopping at antique stores, at curated collections that have been carefully picked, you absolutely must come here if you're in Chicago. So well done. There are a mix of eclectic vendors with really high quality stuff like these mid-century modern bamboo lights. Keep in mind you are going to have prices that are antique store prices, but you get things like this Potosi planter as well. So I think it's warranted for sure. This is not a thrift store. Do not expect Goodwill prices, not even close. However, I'm proud of myself. I saw this and thought, I think that's a Potosi. I'm learning, everybody. I'm learning. This might seem kind of silly, but I need a chair for when I do my hauls because my big bulky black office chair is not the prettiest. And I love this color. Like a bright coral. Fiberglass chair, $125. Hope I find one of these someday. For your reference, we are upstairs in the furniture section. They've got a ton of great vintage furniture up here. Also some big artwork. A lot of pieces that are looked after, sought after highly. So definitely if you need some furniture and you're in the Chicago area and you love the vintage style, come check it out up here. These cupboard trays are beautiful. 45 and 75. I'd love to put plants on these as a water catching tray, but it's a little steep for me, so I'm going to pass today. Now a piece I've never seen before, even though I'm fairly new at the whole reselling gig. A lamp base made out of pottery. Quite eye-catching and unique. Difficult to see because of the light, but this piece is wood. There is a sticker, He Fits, New York. Trying to find the price because I think it's going to be pretty expensive. 1950s He Fits, New York ceramic biomorphic table lamp, new cord. $165, actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I think I've seen this mid-century modern pattern at Goodwill before, but I've never seen this much in a set. I love this piece even more seeing it now. My most favorite colors thrown on a canvas. If personality had colors, I feel like mine would be this. If I remember this, maybe this will be a birthday present. It's like everywhere I turn, I see another fantastic piece. Look at the screen. So intricate and such a neat pattern. $489 boho bamboo screen. That is cool. Somebody would love these bar stools. They are $189. There is some damage on this one. It is not my style, but I can see people running to grab these. What a cool red chair. I love red for days. $195. I don't need it, so I'm gonna pass, but you can see there's little silver metallic detailing in it. She is fantastic. I love this, but there's no price on her. I take this down to get a price on her. She really reminds me of my Bendini girl at home. So beautiful. I'm already almost out of time because I've got to leave soon and I've only been upstairs. But this store is so highly curated and presented so nicely, and it's not too crammed, it's not too stuffy, it's very comfortable. If you love antiques or vintage, it's a must stop if you're in the Chicago area. You will not be disappointed. Plenty of space, full upstairs, full downstairs, reasonably priced, and high quality things. Yes, some things are more expensive, but they're more expensive for a reason. Must stop here if you're in the Chicago area. Some really beautiful sterling, especially these bracelets. Wow. $125 on that little girl piece. And I think I've got to. I think that's going to be a piece for my house. And I kind of have this idea for a huge wall space in our home, which I'll run past you later. But I think she's got to come home with me. That was much less than I was expecting. I take a peek in one downstairs glass case, and these sterling silver cups are beautiful. $140 for each of those big ones at the bottom there. I think that's quite a fair price for them because they're large. They are not small, but I'm going to pass today because I don't want to drop that much cash, but I am going to get those other two pieces. So I'm out of time and I didn't even really get to the bottom floor, but hopefully next Tuesday I'm going to stop again. We can do the bottom floor. I just spotted these on the way out and they're so fantastic. It's a pair. Amazing texture, but out of my price range. Wow. Oh, that was so fun. And I only made it through half the store. I'm coming back Tuesday. And we are back for day 2 at the Broadway Antique Market. A little side note, just realized today, this is just 6 minutes south of the Lost Eras store that is also a vintage store in Chicago. So if you're going to one, I would try and hit both because they're both worth stopping at. But let's go finish the Broadway Antique Market and hit the first floor. Old ashtray. That's pretty cool. 27. They've got some really beautiful sterling silver and stone pieces. I'm not much of a sterling silver stone gal, but if you are, I would definitely come here because they've got beautiful things in the glass cases on the bottom floor. Oh wow, I didn't even know they had these huge cases too. So beautiful. I mean, I'm just finding all of these new ones I didn't even see before, so definitely come if you're into sterling silver stuff. Wow. Looks like they've got $275 on that gorgeous bracelet down there. Ooh. $375 on that sterling silver bracelet there. Oh my goodness, I just bought that cookie cutter set, the holiday cookie cutter set from Goodwill. They've got 22 on theirs. I think I paid $3. I don't know what this piece of barware is called. Maybe a carousel? Either way, great piece. Really fun. $125 for that. If I were into barware, I would get that. Beautiful wood box. Now that I'm watching this back, I do wish I would have done a Google image search on that one with the mirror, because I think maybe there could have been some margin in there if I could have bartered a little bit. I do love this cottagecore crewel piece that is artist sign. There's a signature down there in the lower left. $65, so there's no room for me on it, but this would be something I would add to my personal collection if it was just a little less. That's a really pretty detailed box. I think they had 20 on this, and if that's true, I'm wondering why I didn't go ahead with it. Love this magazine rack made out of real wood. This has to be pretty old. $130, so I'm gonna pass, but well worth it, I'd say. The ball and pin detailing, so pretty. This bottom section is set up a lot more like a traditional antique store where you've got booth after booth with different vendors, but it's really clean, nicely curated. The aisles are open, really easy to get around in. I love the color of that stone with the green mixed in on what I think is called lapis. It's got $150 on it. That's so beautiful. This guy here is phenomenal. Elephant sculpture. Base looks like it has a lid. $225. The coloring is just fantastic though. I don't remember seeing this leopard, but he's fantastic. This particular vendor had really beautiful and expensive, rightfully so, pottery. I love that one with the unique coloring. That's actually a pretty fantastic piece. 1950s brass toned ceiling picture, 3 striped shades, $195. I do have a section of my house where I could put that. That is so tempting. And I bet it works too. To show you what I mean, this center flush mount here is right by our front door. And this is just an Amazon purchase when we moved in. Definitely not real Tiffany or anything, but I think that brass flush ceiling light with the striped black would be so much better here in this spot than that one there. Comment below, let me know if you agree. Comment below and let me know if you think that price for that lamp is a good deal. Oh boy. Real vintage 1987 Chicago Cubs sweatshirt for a little guy. My little guy happens to love the Cubs, even though his dad loves the White Sox. Check out this enormous and probably very heavy Zodiac mirror, for sure vintage, $978. Someone who's very into this would love it. I hope one of you out there are gasping or stopping in your tracks like I did when I saw this. I mean, look at her. The coloring is incredible. The detailing in this original painting and her expression, she's captivating. And also $450. We'll come back to her. Hang tight. I just love the paint by numbers in this booth. This is where I got my ballerinas in my office that I absolutely love. From this booth, and they've got more up. I think those are amazing. I've never seen anything like that. That one's a little damaged, but those are fun, like 3D. The elephant is pretty incredible too. 48 and 45 is too steep for me, but those would be so fun on my wall at home. I love whimsical things like that. I had to come charge my phone because I ran out of battery, and there's so much more to show you, but I had to pay for parking too. Don't forget to pay for parking. If you're in a park place in Chicago, you will get a ticket. Some of the booths here do have a lot of vintage clothing, or used clothing for that matter. I myself am a flannel girl, and the selection in here is fabulous. Now that I go to Goodwill all the time, it's hard to spend that much, but for good ones that are lined, similar to that, I definitely have spent that before. That sweater is nice too. I wish my husband would let me buy him more flannels. He actually told me to stop buying him flannels, but this is a great one. This is 42, but it's heavily lined. You can see the lining in there. On pieces like this that are a little higher than I would like to spend, sometimes I do if I love them to support the dealer and the antique store. Man, here is another. It's the same brand. I might have to look this brand up. It is also quilted and has lining on the inside. This one is 45. This shirt, anybody? This booth is just spectacularly curated with good quality vintage items. You're not going to get thrift store prices, but if you don't want to dig at a thrift store and you're in the Chicago area, especially if you like flannels, this is a good place to come. I searched, and on Etsy there's some for 28 listed, but that's not right here right now. So I might see if there's any room on that pair. We all have our vices when it comes to things we just can't say no to, right? Comment below and tell me yours. Mine,
flannels, especially vintage. Some beautiful pottery. I love that. Some nice portrait pieces up there.
I especially like her on the end. I'm just not a big silver accent person on the frame.
Potosi planter. That's interesting. When my phone died, this was sitting up there a second ago, so somebody took a look. Another Potosi spotted. We've also got Terry's Pendleton blazer, which is great, but 95. Okay, the flower gal in me loves this old blanket.
I think that blanket is probably worth it, but my husband will kill me if I bring home more blankets too. I guess we can add blankets to the list. Blankets, flannels, and I think probably wool sweaters too. This is kind of pretty. It's like a 3D painting. The flowers are popping out. And Pine is the artist. I've not seen one like that before. I don't even mind the yellow. That's a pretty cool piece. Oh my goodness, those are eggshells. Now I see it. Oh, that does make it even cooler. 59. These candlesticks are gorgeous. There's really beautiful detailing on all of them, but they're 16 a piece, so that's no margin, but gosh, they're really beautiful. A lot of stunning brass pieces in this booth. Those are pretty. Owls are everywhere. Everywhere. You've got to be kidding me. I do love patriotic things. This with the fringe is really nice. 95.
Hi friends, it's about 2 or 3 weeks later than the first time I was here at Broadway Antique Market. And I cannot get that Dutch woman out of my head, that painting. It's so beautiful. So I'm gonna go back in and see if she is still there and if I can get her for less than, I think it was priced at $450 or even $400. If I can get her in like $350, because she's so beautiful and she's stuck in here. So let's see what we can find and if we can find her.
Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh. There she is. She's still here. And she is priced at $450. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to walk around a little bit first. Okay, he's going to see if there's any room on it from this vendor. And it is very old. You can tell by the canvas. And I do think there's a signature on the back of the canvas that's very faint. And it says Latessa or Latessa. And it's old because you can see the nails on the side of the canvas nailed into the wood frame, but there's not an outside frame. So I'm nervous, but we'll see where they can go on that.
I still have not forgotten about this light. I still think it'd be great in my entryway, but I gotta talk to the hubby. I wish you could see and feel this vintage dress in person. Someone who works here just put it out. It is fabulous. I've never heard of the brand, but it's listed at $175. Disco Fever. This jumpsuit is also amazing, full of sequins. This vintage clothing vendor really has got it going on. The tag doesn't exactly look vintage, though. One of my favorite Christmas decorations is this tree, except in green ceramic that I inherited from my grandmother. $3.50 on this one.
Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel.
I have never seen The Last Supper paint by numbers. $39, which I think is super reasonable. Mid-century modern lovers, check out these lights. Can you imagine? One on each side of the bed. Priced at $398 each.
Raymore Italian pottery piece.
$195. This piece was really interesting. I thought from afar it looks like it's painted on velvet, and it is pricey, $495, but a really interesting, unique piece.
Meanwhile, this is coming home for my little guy.
Now for the long-awaited Broadway Antique Market haul. You see who's behind me? I want to be very delicate and not handle her too much because she is fragile, my friends. Fragile. I couldn't say no. She was priced at $450 and they said the best they could do is $360. I had said in my mind I would do $350, but she had been in my head for 3 weeks from the first time I went to that store. I just really would love to hear and find out more about her. Does have a signature on the back, which I think says La Tessa. It's very, very faint, but I don't regret it 1 minute. She's so, so beautiful. See her eyes and her face? I wish you could see the detailing of the painting up close. It's just absolutely magnificent. I'm sure in person, it's even better than this very nice camera. I do think I am going to take her to get framed at a nice frame shop because she's worth it. I would like to find out more information about her though. So if any of you have any inkling of information about this piece, let me know, because Google Image does not, eBay does not, and I think that's probably rather a good thing. Part of the reason I'm in love with her, I suppose. Now, though the piece behind me is clearly my favorite piece from the Broadway Antique Market, she's still a great find. Look at that cutie patootie. She's worth one more show, and she's so well kept. I mean, there is nothing wrong with her at all. As I said before, I think she would go really nice next to my Bendini girl. And at $125, I was floored to hear this. Yes, I'll take her. Thank you very much. I also did get that cherry wooden storage chest. It is incredibly heavy, so I'm going to show you the footage of it again, but I'm really happy about that. That will be something I put up on my Etsy store. Those can be into the 200 plus range, and I see why, especially with as heavy as it is to ship. If you would like that, please message me on my Etsy store, Tiny Finds Treasures, if it is not already listed and in the description of this video, and I will get it up and reserved for you. Lastly, I did end up getting a couple flannels. I'm a flannel girl. What can I say? I couldn't pass this up. This one, to be honest, I probably could have done without, but it actually matches my outfit today, I suppose. I guess I like coral. And that is that. What a thrill. If you have not been to the Broadway Antique Market and you are in the area, go. If you're an hour away, go. Now, remember, these prices are not going to be thrift store prices. They're going to be more like antique store prices. You might find a thing or two to flip, but maybe not as well. Remember to subscribe to this video if you haven't yet, and we will see you in the next one. I hope you join the hunt. Hit that subscribe button, comment below, and let me know what your favorite find is from this vintage shop hop episode of Broadway Antique Market. We'll see you in the next one, everyone. Happy hunting. Bye. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty.